Number 8. Not caring if you're cool. You don't try to impress anyone. In fact, sometimes you say or do things that would terrify someone desperate to fit in. While others carefully curate their words and actions to avoid judgment, you speak your mind without calculating the social cost. You wear what feels comfortable, laugh at your own jokes, and share opinions that might not be so popular. Psychologists say authenticity is one of the strongest markers of coolness, because trying to be cool usually backfires. When people see someone being unapologetically themselves, they perceive confidence and social freedom. Research shows that authentic behavior signals high self-worth and emotional security, traits that naturally draw others in. The paradox is fascinating. The moment you stop caring about being cool, you become infinitely more captivating. People can sense when someone is performing versus when they're just being real. That genuine energy creates a gravitational pull that no amount of posturing can replicate. It's confidence without calculation, the kind that makes people lean in without even realizing why. To others, this makes you magnetic in a way that feels genuine. You're not chasing approval, which only makes people want your approval more. Your indifference to social games becomes the very thing that makes you impossible to ignore. In a world built on image, nothing stands out more than someone who simply doesn't need the spotlight. Number 7. Being mysteriously aloof. You don't text back instantly. You don't show up everywhere. And people are constantly left wondering what you're up to. While others are available at all hours, responding to every message within minutes, you operate on your own timeline. You might disappear for days, then resurface with no explanation, leaving others to fill in the gaps with their imagination. Psychology research shows that scarcity increases perceived value. When someone isn't always available, others see them as more intriguing and higher status. This principle, known as the scarcity effect, explains why limited edition items feel more desirable and why people chase what they can't easily have. Your distance creates a vacuum that others feel compelled to fill. They start wondering about your life, your thoughts, and your reasons for being unreachable. That mental space you occupy in their heads becomes valuable real estate. The less you reveal, the more their minds work to complete the picture, and imagination is far more captivating than clarity. The beauty of this approach is that you never have to perform or prove your worth. While everyone else is competing for attention, you've made attention compete for you. Your selective presence becomes a privilege others have to earn, not something they can simply expect. And that shift in power dynamics is what transforms ordinary unavailability into magnetic coolness. Number 6. Doing things your own way. You hate following rules that don't make sense. If there's a dress code, you bend it. If everyone's following the same trend, you somehow twist it your way. The goal is never rebellion, it's simply doing what feels true to you. When everyone zigs, something in you naturally wants to zag. Psychologists describe autonomy as a defining trait of coolness. People admire those who set their own path instead of blending into the crowd. There's something magnetic about someone who moves with quiet certainty, steady amid the noise of expectation. It's a quiet mix of confidence and originality that sets you apart. Your refusal to follow the script can make others question why they're following it themselves. You become a mirror that reflects their own conformity back at them. That small spark of curiosity is how people start to shift, realizing there's more power in choice than in compliance. What makes this very powerful is that you're not performing rebellion for an audience. You're simply living according to your own compass. Your independence makes conformity look boring, and that contrast is what makes you shine. Authenticity always stands out in the end, especially when someone moves with self-trust. That's the essence of cool. Not fitting in, not leading, just being unmistakably yourself. Number 5. Having influence without forcing it. You don't have to talk the most in a group, but people naturally quiet down when you speak. Your words carry weight without you having to raise your voice or demand attention. When you offer an opinion, others listen. When you suggest a plan, people follow. This kind of presence comes from a quiet sense of authority. Research shows that capability overlaps with both coolness and goodness. Influence that isn't forced signals competence and wisdom, creating a natural magnetism that draws others in. People trust your judgment because you've shown it to be reliable over time. And this kind of soft power is far more effective than loud demands for respect. Your influence feels unforced because it comes from who you are. You've earned it through consistency, insight, and the rare ability to see situations clearly. Others recognize this quality even when they can't name it. They just know that when you speak, it's worth listening. This makes you seem powerful, but unforced. You've mastered the art of commanding attention without ever demanding it. Cool isn't loud, it moves quietly, pulling people in without them realizing why. And that kind of presence can't be performed, it just is. Number 4. Refusing to conform. You question why things are done the way they are. And when it doesn't make sense, you refuse to go along just to keep the peace. You're the person who asks uncomfortable questions in meetings, who calls out obvious problems everyone else ignores, and who suggests there might be a better way, even when everyone else seems satisfied with how things currently work. This ties back to coolness as counterculture. Psychologists note that cool people often resist traditions and break norms, which makes them unpredictable and exciting. Your willingness to challenge systems shows intellectual courage and independent thinking, traits that others find both intimidating and attractive. Your rebellion carries purpose, driven by the need to improve what doesn't sit right. This distinction matters because it shows you're thinking critically, not just acting out. And people respect principled resistance more than mindless defiance. To others, you look bold in a world full of people playing it safe. Rebellion suggests strength and the courage to risk disapproval for something you believe in. Most people feel the same frustrations, but they stay quiet. You're just the one willing to say it out loud. That kind of honesty doesn't just earn respect, it draws people in. And there's always something magnetic about someone who refuses to trade truth for approval. Number 3. Drawn to the unknown. You're the one who orders the strangest item on the menu, or books a trip to somewhere no one's heard of. While others stick to the familiar, you're pulled toward experiences that can't be predicted or controlled. You'd rather try something new and hate it, than play it safe and forever wonder what you missed. This is openness to experience, the drive to explore, innovate, and take risks. It's why cool people are often early adopters of new ideas, music, or fashion. Your brain is wired to find novelty rewarding rather than threatening, which sets you apart from those who prefer the comfort of routine. This attraction to the unknown makes you a natural curator of interesting experiences. Others look to you for recommendations because they know you've probably discovered something they haven't. Your willingness to venture into uncharted territory makes you a valuable scout for your social circle. To others, you look ahead of the curve. You make the familiar seem dull, and the unknown feel irresistible, turning curiosity into a form of social currency. The doors you open inspire others to follow. You remind people that excitement isn't something you find, it's something you create by being brave enough to explore an uncharted path. Number 2. Staying calm under pressure. When chaos hits, you don't panic. You get quieter. While everyone else is running around with their hair on fire, you're the one taking a step back, assessing the situation, and figuring out what actually needs to be done. Your voice doesn't get louder when things get intense, it gets steadier. Coolness has always been linked to composure. Emotional restraint signals control and strength, which is the opposite of desperation. When others lose their heads, your ability to keep yours becomes a beacon of stability. The sense of calm comes from mastery over your own emotional responses. This steadiness makes others naturally look to you for guidance. They might not consciously realize it, but they're drawn to your energy because it feels safe and reliable. You become the anchor people hold on to when everything else feels uncertain. This composure is almost intimidating in the best way possible. In tense moments, your calm becomes the reset button everyone else needs. It's the kind of quiet control that reminds people strength doesn't always look loud. While everyone else loses their head, you keep yours. And that unshakable calm becomes the quietest, truest kind of cool. Number 1. Enjoying life without apology. You laugh loudly, dance badly, or eat dessert before dinner, and you don't care who's watching. You've figured out that life is too short to spend it worried about other people's opinions of your joy. Research also links coolness to hedonism, the willingness to embrace pleasure and joy in the moment. What really stands out is the ease of being free from judgment. Your ability to enjoy yourself without seeking permission shows a level of self-acceptance that others find both admirable and inspiring. This unapologetic joy is contagious. When people see you fully embracing life, it gives them permission to do the same. You become a reminder that happiness doesn't require approval, and that authenticity is more attractive than perfection. Your joy becomes its own kind of cool. You're living the life most people only let themselves imagine. Free, playful, and completely unbothered. That ease pulls people in more than any performance ever could. While the world worries about looking perfect, you remind everyone that the real definition of cool is simply enjoying being alive. The irony here is perfect. All the traits that make you cool have one thing in common. They happen when you stop trying to be cool at all. You become magnetic by being authentic, influential by being genuine, and admirable by being yourself. The secret was never about becoming someone else. It was about having the courage to be exactly who you already are. We explain a lot around here. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.